What is happening, YouTube and all you Dolphins fans out there? So today, GM Chris Grier and head coach Brian Flores met with the media at the NFL Combine in Indianapolis. In this video, I'm just going to be going over what was said and what it might mean for the team as we move forward. So to start his media session this year at the Combine, GM Chris Grier's message was similar to his message during the 2019 Combine, or early on in the pre-draft process last year. Chris stressed the importance of finding the right guys for the team when asked what the goal was for year 2 of the Dolphins' rigorous rebuild. Grier said that the goal is just to continue building. Brian and the coaching staff did a great job establishing the culture. The narrative was out there that we were tanking, and it was clear that that wasn't what we were doing. It's important to establish the culture of winning, the importance of winning and doing things the right way. Obviously, with quarterback being a major need for the team, the position is a major point of emphasis for the media and Dolphins fans alike. When asked what are some of the most important things he hopes to find out about the quarterbacks at the Combine, Chris Grier said, "She's just getting to know the person, and that's the case for every person. Leadership, mental toughness, character, on and off the field. It's important for every position, but especially quarterback," end quote. Chris Grier also made sure to stress how important it is to have a franchise quarterback on a team. It's very important, he said. Every team that has one will tell you that. And we want to get to that point. Ryan Fitzpatrick did a great job last year, and he'll be a great person to show whoever it is how to be a pro. And I think that statement right there from GM Chris Grier shows that the Dolphins are probably going to be taking a quarterback in this year's draft, referencing that Fitzpatrick is going to be showing whoever it is how to be a pro. Obviously tells you that we're going to be taking someone this year. And that probably isn't Josh Rosen. Even though Fitzpatrick will be the presumed starter in 2020, that hasn't stopped the Dolphins from getting into contact with teams around the league about a possible trade up or trade down in the draft. It has been reported from multiple outlets that the Dolphins have been fairly aggressive in making calls to teams. Grier was sure to downplay that narrative. When asked if the Dolphins have had conversations about trading up for a quarterback, Grier said that no, not yet, because it's still too early. He's obviously lying. No teams have really met with these guys, so we'll go through our process of finding out what's best for our franchise. Chris Grier also said he felt good about where the team was at its current draft position, as well as the team's flexibility this offseason. Grier said that we feel good about where we are. A lot of things still have to happen through the draft and free agency. We have a lot of spots to fill and a lot of young players last year that did a good job. We can't rule out any position. You can think you're deep at a position, and an injury changes that real quickly. The picks we've acquired and the money we have, we feel good about our flexibility to move up or stand pat, end quote. And that's exactly my thoughts this offseason we got. I mean, every position on this team is a need, and that's not even a joke. We got a lot of positions to fill, except for receiver. And that mentioned flexibility isn't the only thing Miami has going for it this offseason. When asked about the sales pitch to prospective free agents and draft prospects, Chris Grier made sure to mention the team's performance at the end of last year. He said, "The way we ended the year, going up to New England and beating them with them playing for something, that was really important, and everyone was telling us that we had to lose the game for a draft pick." He said that it didn't make any sense, and here you're going to have a team that's going to be competitive, tough, smart, and we're building it the right way, with a coach that's going to lead us to things in the future. And that is definitely how I feel about Coach Flores. I did a video on Brian Flores a couple of videos back, about 4 or 5 videos back, so make sure to check that out on my channel. I definitely feel like, it's a great piece on Brian Flores. Without a doubt, the available draft capital and cap space will be an attractive prospect for potential free agents that the Dolphins hope to sign in the next couple of weeks. Grier said, "It's a big piece. People want to see that you're trying to do things to win. What we've done, what we've acquired for any player, especially a young player, would be exciting for the opportunity to know that they're going to come in with a lot of picks, a lot of good young players, and the chance to grow and build with them and build something special. And with the coaching of Flores and the guys around him, that's just a recipe for success. Oh, man. Great things to come when you give Coach Flores talented players, especially when you see the job he did last year with, those no-name players. Every position on the field is important, according to Dolphins GM Chris Grier. When asked about the recent devaluation of running backs, Grier said, I think everyone goes in cycles in this league. For a while, everyone said that the position wasn't important. Then guys like Ezekiel Elliott and Todd Gurley had big years, and now the running back is important. It's an important position again. Then the year before, New England did a really good job with their backs by committee. I don't really value or devalue any position. With our plethora of picks, man, we're going to have a number of chances to pick a talented running back in the draft. It didn't take long for the conversation to gear back towards the quarterbacks, and more specifically, Alabama quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. Asked if Tua is a prototypical quarterback, Grier admitted, no, he's not, but the game has changed. You're getting a lot of players that aren't the old model. Kyler Murray last year, Baker Mayfield the year before that, and you could even throw in Russell Wilson there. Grier said, you're getting a lot of guys that are good football players, and that's what teams are looking for. Are they good football players, especially at that position with all the intangibles? And that's definitely what you want from a quarterback. Coaching the quarterbacks will be new offensive coordinator Chan Gailey. I worked with Chan previously, Grier said. He was a little bit ahead of the RPO, run-pass option game early on before it became the in-style for the league. He's a great guy. He's a good football coach. When we made the hire, we had many people around the league texting us saying it was a great hire both for the guy and the football coach. At the time, I was a little bit, skeptical about, a guy that's been out of the league for 3 years. But, just hearing these great things about Chan, especially when you hear what Coach Flores has to say later on the video, you'll know that he's a quality football coach. So, moving on now to Coach Flores' press conference at the Combine. Speaking of Chan Gailey, Coach Flo was asked about the decision to bring him into the organization as the next offensive coordinator of the team. Flores stated that he was first to bring up Gailey's name as the next offensive coordinator of the Dolphins. Flores said, having coached him in the past, he was always tough to deal with schematically. He's good situationally. I've just heard so many things about him as a teacher. The thing for me is just always teaching, and he's a great teacher. He also said that he's enthusiastic and is excited for the opportunity. We're excited as a team for him to work with our players. Gailey once again was brought up when Flores was asked about his preferred style of running back and just the ground game in general. Running backs come in all shapes and sizes, Flores said. It really just depends on who you've got. We're always going to do what's best for the player and for the team. Chan has done a really good job of fitting the scheme to the different players that he's had. So, that is just great to hear. And it just sounds like, they're going to be fitting the players to the scheme and not forcing them to, do things that they're uncomfortable with. And that's definitely what the Dolphins did last year with Kalen Ballage, just forcing him to play, a certain way or, just hitting certain run fits. It definitely didn't work for him. So hopefully they can get Ballage going next year in Chan Gailey's scheme. So, former Dolphins assistant head coach and wide receivers coach Carl Dorrell, or Dorrell, however you say it, have recently accepted a position to be the head coach of the University of Colorado. Coach Flores had this to say about Coach Dorrell's situation. Carl was happy here, but there was an opportunity that I was very supportive of, and he wanted it, Flores said. If it's something that our coaches want, then I'm going to be supportive of those guys, and I'm really surprised, he let him go, be the head coach of Colorado. I really thought that, he definitely want him around as his second in command, because I think it's going to be a big loss for the team. I really think that Dorrell just did an awesome job coaching the wide receivers the last couple of years. You can definitely tell the impact he had on, Devontae Parker's game and just, his maturity, and Preston Williams came in and was dominating right off the bat. So it's going to be a big hole for the wide receiving room. Flores and his staff are in the beginning stages of meeting the players here in Indianapolis. Regarding the most important thing the Dolphins can take away from this week, Flores said, just getting to know them. There are a lot of juniors here that we don't really know that well. Just finding out how smart they are, the things that are important to them. I want to know them. I want to know about the person. We watch all the film and have an opinion on how talented the player is, but how do they work? How important is it to them? Are they going to make the sacrifices necessary to become the player they want to be? Flores also talked about the traits that define the it factor, especially in a quarterback. Do the guys rally around him? Flores said. It's something you see watching the film. You get to know the player, the people around him, his coaches, his high school coaches, anybody who's had an effect on him. You wanna get to know them and have conversations with them. It's a feel. As a group, myself and Chris Grier, we spend a lot of time talking about different things. We feel like a player has that. That's something every organization is looking for. Everyone has a different thought process and opinion on that. End quote. Flores' thoughts on traits you're looking for in a quarterback are the same for every position. According to Coach Flo, he said, it's hard to say one thing. We want guys who are tough, smart, competitive, love to play, and put the team first. We've watched the film, and obviously we're looking for talented players. There's a lot we're looking for in each player: to be tough and be smart. His two favorite words, tough and smart, and he hasn't thrown in disciplined in there yet, but yeah, definitely Flores' two favorite things about players being tough and smart. The quarterback most linked to the Miami Dolphins during this process has been Alabama quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. So naturally, everybody wants to know what Coach Flores thinks of the quarterback. So when asked what he needs to see from Tua during the pre-draft process, he said, there's a lot to know about a lot of players, but it's what we talked about, just the love of the game and intelligence. But that's for any player. The medical is obviously a part of that. We're very early in the process here. I haven't met him yet, but I'm looking forward to meeting him and a lot of players. There's a lot of talented players here. So that's it for this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed the rundown of Chris Grier and Coach Flores' press conferences at the Combine. There really are a lot of great nuggets in there, and it's just a bit of insight into what the two most important men in the organization are thinking heading into the draft and free agency. So don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps out the channel, helps me out. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. I always love hearing from you guys. And as always, it's fins up, baby.